This program is part of WQED's Pittsburgh History Series.
Okay, we've made it to program number 2. We're not dead yet. This one premieres November 10th, 2010, or 11/10/10, just a few days after we turned the clocks back to Eastern Standard Time. As we put this program together, it's autumn in Pittsburgh, maybe our best season. Everybody loves these cool, crisp days. I'm Rick Sebak. I'm the sort of host and producer of this endeavor. And in this program, we're going to Lawrenceville, which may be the most unpredictable and somewhat goofy neighborhood in the city these days. We're going to spend some time at 3705 Butler Street in what's now called Lower Lawrenceville, or as some of the neighbors call it, Lola. We may stay up all night or get up really early and find some breakfast in West Mifflin, breakfast with a side of attitude. And all of this is part of this program we call It's Pittsburgh, and a lot of other stuff. Everything's rooted in Pittsburgh this time, an all-Western Pennsylvania show. And you got to remember, whatever Lola wants, Lola gets.
It's Pittsburgh and a lot of other stuff is made possible by the Buell Foundation, serving southwestern Pennsylvania since 1927, and by Huntington Bank, helping people and businesses with their money since 1866. Welcome.
You know, there's a lot to love about Lawrenceville. We've been here many times getting stories for our Pittsburgh History Series programs. In 2001, when we did Pittsburgh A to Z, L was for Lipinski in Lawrenceville. Tom Lipinski writes some of the best mystery novels with a Pittsburgh setting, and he grew up here in Lawrenceville. In 2004, when we did a program called It's the Neighborhoods, we spent a long day trying to see as much as we could on the Lawrenceville house tour. There are a lot of great houses around here. Then in 2005, we did a national documentary for PBS called A Cemetery Special, and we came here to Allegheny Cemetery. It's one of the most historic, important, and beautiful cemeteries in America, and we started our program here.
Allegheny is 300 acres. We started off at 100 acres and grew to 300 acres, which is the limit of our charter. So it's a nonprofit institution that has been self-perpetuating since 1844.
Tom Roberts, president of Allegheny Cemetery, knows why Americans started establishing these beautiful so-called rural garden cemeteries in the first half of the 19th century.
Churchyards in the cities of America or United States were getting overcrowded, and they didn't know what to do or how to do it. So the concept came, let's make a cemetery place distant from the churches and independent from the churches, if you would, and a self-perpetuating landscape that would have its own beauty and its own appeal.
Like all great cemeteries, this place has some monuments for famous and unusual people buried here.
The top of our list is Stephen Foster, who American's troubadour, who was born in Lawrenceville. He's buried here with the rest of his family. We have Josh Gibson, for example, in the Negro League. All the magnates of Pittsburgh, the Mellons, the Hunts, the Carnegies, they're all represented here in the cemetery. So there's a lot of cool monuments, if you will. We have one, it's a shark's head. It was done for a young person who died who really loved the Jaws movie. We just have so many stories, and they're just kind of fun to tell people.
Well, our story in this program started with a phone call. It was August 2010, a hot summer day. A woman named Michelle Trumbull called me because she and her husband Kevin were trying to transform an old bar in Lower Lawrenceville into what she called an upscale lounge.
Lawrenceville's changing, and especially this area. It's an up-and-coming neighborhood. It's very eclectic, lots of art galleries.
Well, anybody who's paying attention can tell you that working-class Lawrenceville in recent years has become a very hip, arty, and interesting place to live, to shop, and to hang out.
There's tons of different types of businesses here. There's everything from architects to boutiques to bakery shops and good restaurants.
I'm really starting to like Lawrenceville now. It's a nice little area of town. It's picking up. There's a lot of stuff going on, new restaurants, bars, everything.
The day we stopped to see their place in transition, Michelle's husband, Kevin Trumbull, who had worked for many years in pharmaceutical sales, was working on a variety of different jobs here.
I never thought I'd own a especially bar or restaurant or lounge, and my wife and I were having a Valentine's Day dinner down the street, in fact. So she said, wouldn't it be great to own a business like this? And I thought, yeah, maybe not. And I always wanted to own real estate.
The first time we walked in, a man named Bill owned it. It was Bill's Tavern. And he had had it for about 30 years. He was a very emotional seller. He raised his family upstairs. And so they all lived here, they all worked here.
He had very emotional ties to it. He's been here a long time. He raised his family here, and things had changed in his life, and I think he was just ready to. And I don't think he wanted to, but I think he realized that he just needed to.
So Bill needed to connect with somebody emotionally, and apparently a lot of people had tried to get this bar, and we came and talked to him one night and had a conversation about it, and he basically chose me to have the bar. I didn't choose the bar, Bill chose me.
That day, we also met veteran bartender Ray Matthews, who's going to be the manager here. He and his pap, Amos Rager, were helping with the rehab.
I mean, this place was old. It ran for a long time as Bill's Tavern, so shot and beer. Come in, smoke a couple cigarettes, have a beer, shot, and go home.
I can remember the first time we looked at it with the real estate agent, and we looked around and said, this is interesting. And but the building had the architecture, which you couldn't see some of it.
It was older, it had a dropped ceiling that looked like a doctor's office, and you know, I always see potential in everything. So I said to my husband, we can throw some paint on, change here and there, and it'll be a great place.
One of the things that we asked the realtor when we came through is what kind of ceiling is above the old drop ceiling that was about halfway up, and he said, I don't know. So we popped open a ceiling tile, and there was this old, beautiful tin.
And this is what we got. We got this beautiful ceiling. Now, it didn't look like that whenever we took down the drop ceiling. It was in pretty bad shape.
It's one of the first things that people look at when they come into the space now is, wow, look at that ceiling. And that's really what kind of what we're going for too, is some wow factor and that unique, old yet comfy, and I want to just hang out and spend some time here with some friends.
I think most people say wow too when they see the old bar and the back bar made out of glass blocks.
It reminds me of, in the South Hills, everybody's basement windows were all glass block. So it just reminds me of my childhood, basically.
I can't even think of another bar around that has all this glass block like this. I mean, I've seen glass block like in this piece, but not like the whole back bar before. I think that's pretty cool.
Originally, when I first looked at it, I didn't like it. I wanted to get rid of it. And then, not more than a week later, everybody that came in said, oh, it's really amazing, it really shows character. And I said, you know what, it really does. So I liked it, and we kept it.
They also found some old German language newspapers under the carpeting on the stairs. This is an old bar full of funky surprises.
It's got a lot of potential. It's going to be a work in progress even after we get it open for a little bit. But once we get it done, I think it's going to be a really cool little place to hang out. Nice little wine list, be a chill spot.
Converting an older tavern into an upscale lounge, people think that they know what they're getting into, but you never do.
The people that come by here and we tell them what it's going to be, as they sneak their head in and go, what is this? What's it going to be? And we tell them the kind of bar it's going to be, everybody goes, thank you. Thank you so much for putting that here. We need that. That's exactly what we need.
Now, the real reason Michelle called me, however, was none of these cool surprises. She called because she wanted me to see the unusual refrigerator that used to be at the front end of the bar. It's in the shape of a beer bottle.
From what people have said, they come by and they go, oh, that's the bar with that big beer thing in it.
I think it's fantastic, and I loved it at first. Wow, that's a really cool piece of equipment.
I thought, oh God, it's ugly, is what I thought.
My wife, Michelle, was not a big fan in the beginning, and she said, that's going.
I walked in, and the beer cooler was actually at the other end of the bar. And I walked in, looked left, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like,
and it didn't go with anything that I had in mind for this bar.
Michelle hated it. She thought it was the ugliest eyesore thing.
So wait a minute, everybody else loves it. You're the only one right now, and every time somebody comes in, I kind of take a poll.
I didn't really like it, but everybody loves it.
Nobody has said that they do not like it, so she's outnumbered in this one. She usually wins those battles, but
And Kevin and I were like, this is why we're buying this place, is beer cooler, you know?
So it is growing on me, and now that we've moved it back to the back of the bar, I like it a little bit more.
It's a great old cooler made by the Jewett Refrigerator Company in Buffalo, New York. They called this model the Bevador. They also made one called a Beerador, and they were manufactured from the 1930s through the 1950s. Many bars are proud to have one of these.
Our general manager, Ray, has his grandfather coming in. He's been restoring some pieces in the past, and he thinks he can get it up and running. And
It definitely looks well used.
Yeah,
Looks like it's been through the war.
but it's still in pretty good shape.
Plus, I'm sure that from what I've been told, that people are actually going to come and take their picture with it and look at it, and so it's back there. We don't want it too crowded up here.
So they finished remodeling the inside, and they renamed the bar. It's now called Eclipse. It opens in early September 2010. We dropped by on a Friday night in late October. The place looks great.
It was described in a newspaper as a swanky cocktail lounge, but with a warm and inviting feeling.
it's a lot of work, but I enjoyed it. So
Everybody loves it. Everybody that comes in compliments me on how nice it is, how much they like it.
yeah, I think it really came out the way we thought it would and hoped it would.
It turned out exactly like we wanted it to.
Actually, it's a little bit more than I expected, actually. It's pretty nice. I mean, the weekends they picked up right off the bat. The weeknights are a little slow.
It's interesting because we're only 5 weeks in, but it's kind of like a roller coaster. We can't predict it right now.
Yeah, he's getting used to the bar business, the ups and downs of the bar business. He's getting used to it because he was never in it before, and I always have been,
So I'm happy with today's turnout. And of course, I have lots of bills to pay, so I'd love to see more of it.
It's a nice crowd. It winds down around 1:30. It's like perfect for me, you know what I mean? I'm not here super late, or for the bar business super late, so.
He's a great bartender. He's a great bartender. He can always read people, and he always knows which drinks to give them.
So you get a drink, and you notice near the back of the bar room stands the mighty Bevador.
Everyone loves it. I, of course, am the only one. I love it, just not in a place like this, that's all.
That's really attractive. People know this spot a lot from, oh, that's the place with the beer cooler.
Can't imagine how many people come in, take pictures of it, they open the door.
One girl said it looked like a time machine, an old time machine, and I was like, I like that. That'll work. I mean, I wish it did work for sure.
I mean, eventually we're going to get time to refurbish it and actually get it up and running, which isn't going to take a lot, but
My pap was a little iffy about some of the things in it, so I had to call in some backup, which is my Uncle George.
So the Bevador is probably safe for a while. And it's just such a great reminder that this was once just a simple tavern owned by a man named Bill.
And the story is that when Danny DeVito was filming a movie here, he offered him $30,000 for it, and he refused. Now, if he offers me $30,000, I'm gonna carry it out on my back, but, you know, that's me.
Go see the Bevador. Have a drink. You know, we've talked a lot about doing a whole hour for our Pittsburgh history series about pubs of Pittsburgh, but that program's never gotten funded. It hasn't stopped us from doing the occasional story, however, about important landmark bars around here. For instance, Need's Hotel right here in Lawrenceville has famous fish sandwiches. Over on the north side, we went to Penn Brewery. Good food, good beer, and a great Oktoberfest celebration. We had some great times at the Wemco Club in Homewood. When we did Southside, we stopped in at Mario's, and then later went farther down Carson Street and stopped in at Chupka's too. Here's a clip. The bartender here, Earl Rudis, says Chupka's too changes depending on when you stop by.
During the day, more of a restaurant. Evening, it becomes a bar. But it's nice. Still has a good atmosphere. Can't park, but...
So in the fall of 2009, one evening I'm out at the half-price bookstore in Robinson, and I run into Earl Rudis, that friendly bartender who used to work at Chupka's. And he says, "What are you working on?" And I said, "Well, I'm just starting a PBS documentary about breakfast." And he says, "You know, you need to check out the Hot Metal Diner out in West Mifflin." His niece, Stephanie, who had a little cameo in the Southside show, is working up there now, and he says the breakfast is pretty good. The next day I go, I order poached eggs, and they come poached perfectly. I say, let's do a story. So in October of 2009, and again in January of 2010, we headed out by the county airport on Route 885 to this local breakfast spot with all the really nice neon signs.
This is the Hot Metal Diner. We opened October 7, 2007, and been going strong ever since.
The place is owned and operated by a woman named Wendy Betton, who has years of experience in many other restaurants and a penchant for breakfast.
Love breakfast. That's how I got so big and strong.
We come to breakfast and it's just like home.
Apparently people love breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast eater, but yeah, people love breakfast.
I like breakfast. Breakfast is definitely my favorite meal.
I work the best when I have breakfast, and I do best when I go out to have it. I'm too lazy to make it myself. I truly am.
If I could eat breakfast every day, I would. It's not always feasible. We eat on the run as it is.
And I come alone a lot, so I hate sitting at a table. So give me a counter and I can sit down and get coffee and something to eat.
I was looking for a new name because I couldn't go with my old name, so I thought, my landlord owns the Hot Metal Harley Davidson, and the day that I signed the lease, he changed the name from Heritage Harley Davidson to Hot Metal Harley. So I said, what a perfect name for a diner.
So far it looks good. Like I said, this may be my second most memorable breakfast.
I've known Wendy for a long time, so this is our, choice to come eat all the time.
We heard a lot about it, plus we were on our way to the Pitt game.
I eat breakfast out every day.
We come here all the time.
Well, actually, I called him. He's leaving to go to Sarasota Thursday, so I said, let's break some bread before you go.
Everybody thought I was crazy because location. This is working for us.
Well, people come, they talk in places like this. When you go into a lot of the fast food chains, you're in to get some food and walk right out.
We are about a mile outside the city limits in a little town called West Mifflin, Pennsylvania.
Wendy, she's a unique character. She's not the ordinary person. She makes you feel at ease. She's jokes around with her customers.
It's Wendy's world, and we just work and live in it.
Are you trying to be a professional? You know the rules. No phone calls here at the diner.
We love the diner.
I know. What's he doing on the phone? I'm going to put it in your orange juice.
He has business to conduct.
No, he did not here.
All right, can I call you right back?
Office space is not available here. Yeah, right. Yeah. Good boy.
Some people, I imagine she offends, but we all take it in stride,
Yeah, she's never been nice.
It can be rather abusive sometimes.
If you want some more lip, I'll be back to give it to you.
You want to come back for more, I think, is what it is.
Well, one thing, the servers are very pleasant.
I'm not cooking, I'm just bringing it on.
Oh, I eat here all the time. I gained a lot of weight since I started.
Food's good. It's very good food. It's good quality food, and it's a lot of food.
I've been working there for 5 months. I seen an ad on the computer for it said egg flipper wanted, no experience, no job.
And it's the girls, the waitresses.
People go like this, give me my usual. I go, I am not Stephanie. I don't know my name today, for God's sakes. I don't know what your usual is.
Oh, they're a little saucy, shall we say.
I'm known as the nice one. I'm not as outspoken as the other girls.
Well, the girl I know the best, I'm not saying she's the best worker here, but the girl I know the best is Mary.
Eggs? We serve eggs, for the love of God. It's not rocket science. How much can I screw stuff up? It's eggs and toast. Sometimes I do screw it up, though.
You kind of have it when you walk in the door and you get hired, or you kind of don't have it. However, I might say my staff has been with me since I opened, so I like it.
We're waiting to be abused, though. So we're waiting to hear it. With the Wendy, that's the whole front of the house, women staff. They got the whole women power thing going for them, so.
She's good people. She's good people.
It's a social thing. It's a fun thing. We'll come here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there's times 11 o'clock. We're still here.
Most of my customers are men. Their wives don't want to cook for them. I will.
I really think he's going to trade me in for you. You walk on water.
Is this your wife?
Yes.
Is this the first time I'm meeting your wife? Hi, Carol.
Hi.
I do walk on water. He just follows. He falls in.
I know.
I like that. They do their job. They have fun doing it, and it makes a big difference.
All right. The diner rules are grab a menu, sit at a clean table because we have often dirty ones, Shut the hell up. I'm sure you know what that means.
Services. It's okay.
But we knew to expect an attitude.
You can just read people. I mean, you know when people can't play and people can play. Most people play well, though. Here's your Diet Coke.
Now you bring it.
She brought your Diet Coke anyway.
Now she brings it, yeah.
Some people, I had a guy that once get mad at me. I said, let's read the directions.
Put all condiments back in the racks, push in your chair, pay us at the register, tip her.
You gotta stay on their good side.
And that's what this is like. It's a family thing to come together, socialize, have good food, good quality food.
Go home and come back tomorrow. And the Mary rule is don't put your empty coffee creamers back in the bowl.
People are afraid of me for some absurd reason.
And have an egg salute. We have some people wanting to get out. No, stand back there. Get back. No, I'm kidding.
I'm 7 years old.
What do you do here?
I'm a busboy.
Love him. Sometimes he gets in the way, but he's so darn cute.
We want the little kid. Bring the little kid in here. Little guy back.
Well, the first day I walked in, with my whole family, when I saw Wendy, and she just came over and said, hey, and I just started working here.
Oh, he's all business.
Hey, we need a little help here. When are you going to clean these tables up? Love of God, when are you going to clean these tables up?
That's it.
I don't know, the best is about it, just wiping it off, carrying the dishes to and all the people that work here, especially Wendy.
And when the best is when he's leaving and we try to give him a tip, because you got to tip him out. And he goes, oh no, really, you don't have to do that.
My sister works here, she washes dishes, and apparently she's watching me right now.
What else?
We're guessing
Oh
you're
boy,
about
you're really something.
You're
You wanna
about 8
make sure
years old.
everything-
Are you 8 years old?
7.
All right. When are you going to be 8 though?
August 19th.
Uh-huh. Okay. We figured you were close to 8.
I'm here every Sunday and Saturday, yeah.
People used to love to go out to dinner, spend $150, dinner for 2. Now they come out to breakfast, spend 20. Mom's happy, Pop's happy, customers are happy, I'm happy. Works.
We usually get the same things. He gets pancakes, I get eggs. Pretty plain.
There's so many different combinations where they can add stuff into the scrambled eggs, how they want their eggs done, if they want it. You can poach them, you can make them on the flat top.
The best bacon, the way they prepare their eggs.
Put it on a pretty plate, it all tastes better. My mom taught me that.
I have my egg white omelet with my spinach and my mushrooms, and it's to kill for.
I like her Fat Boy sandwich.
And the Hot Metal Mixed Grill is a breakfast. Potatoes, eggs, all mixed together, because people will order it and go, I have my eggs over medium. I go, now let's read together. Hot Metal Mixed Grill, what's mixed mean? All together.
We sell a lot of pancakes, a lot of waffles, a lot of eggs, a lot of eggs, a lot of eggs.
I don't know, but the special today it looked kind of cool, that asparagus and crab omelet with feta cheese.
I had the Fat Boy, the scrambled eggs and cheese on and ham on toast.
Bacon and cheese omelet. 4 eggs.
So we'll do about 900, 1,000 eggs on the weekend a day.
My kitchen is excellent. Round of applause for my kitchen. Because I could not be me without my kitchen. Because I can screw things up, but as long as my food's good, I'm good.
Usually, we're pretty good with all the plates and all the food in the window, so there's nothing really they can say nothing about unless they mess up and they want us to fix it for them.
I yell at them, they yell back at me, but
Yeah?
but that's just my personality.
You got an over medium and a fat boy coming up next.
Now, if I drop this while you're doing this, you'll piss me off.
I usually just get pancakes, but today I felt a little self-indulgent.
I didn't expect them to be this big, though. I'm used to the little ones.
You still need the pancake, Lisa?
Yeah, it's right here. Cooking up.
Well, it's her recipe, and they're huge, so I sure would never sell a pancake that big.
Size matters where I come from, baby.
Look, I'm gonna eat these too, but I don't want to eat them on camera because, you know.
Scott, that omelet's gonna go no home fries. You play for it.
I have great food. My food is beautiful when it comes out. It tastes delicious when it comes out. But I think it's the atmosphere here. I think it's the coziness of home without being home. I think it's, they don't have to clean up, so okay, they'll come to the diner. I think it's a little bit of everything.
We come out of here with a smile on our face.
If everyone's having fun, everyone's happy, then life's grand at the diner.
I don't know, like all the customers, all the people who work here. I don't know, just fun.
I guess we can't leave now. We have to pay.
Yes, we will have to pay.
If I become chief, I will look to make sure that the guys come and stop by this place on a regular basis.
I survived because I done this my whole life, and I've worked harder for other people than I ever have for myself. And now that I'm working for myself, I find that I'm pretty good at it.
They take care of us. It's home. It's home. It really is.
Mary, hot metal add bacon hard.
Do you have cold cereal at home? Yeah. Then you come here for breakfast.
So there you have it, breakfast in West Mifflin. Now, what did I find surprising about this week's show? That there's never enough time. But you can transform an old man bar in Lawrenceville into a pretty snazzy place, and the glass block back bar looks great in both. And that you never know. I interviewed this guy, Jack Houston, at the Hot Metal Diner. He and I went to first grade together at St. Valentine's in Bethel Park. He was there because his cousin is the crazy waitress, Mary. We're all connected. It's Pittsburgh. Stick around for the credits.
If you want to see other productions from Rick Sebak and his cohorts at WQED, check out the many DVDs offered at shopwqed.org or call 1-800-274-1307.
And I have a granddaughter who just left her boyfriend and drove back from Carolina because he didn't keep his word. And I said, "You did it all by yourself?" And she said, "Yes, just me and the cat." I said, "I'm so proud of you." And that sign up there tells the story. It's better to have loved and lost than to live as a psycho the rest of your life. I'm going to make one for her.
To find out more about these stories, to leave a comment or suggestion, go online to wqed.org/its-Pittsburgh. We also have a Facebook page, and on Twitter, follow Rick Around Here. It's Pittsburgh and a lot of other stuff is made possible by the Buell Foundation, serving southwestern Pennsylvania since 1927, and by Huntington Bank, helping people and businesses with their money since 1866. Welcome.